They enter your life with a force that seems almost divine, captivating, magnetic, impossible to ignore. Their presence commands attention, and their words feel like a spell woven to bind your soul. But beneath this dazzling surface lies something far more dangerous. These individuals are not merely flawed or misunderstood. They are strategic agents of control, masters of manipulation. If you engage with them through empathy, logic, or kindness, you become vulnerable. Because they do not seek connection, they seek dominion. They hunger for submission, for obedience, for power over your mind and spirit. They wage war with invisible weapons, charm, deceit, and psychological warfare. Yet here is the paradox. Their greatest weakness is hidden behind their armor of arrogance. They are fragile. Their sense of self is nothing more than a reflection of the attention they receive, a hollow echo of admiration. Remove that reflection, and their carefully constructed world begins to crumble. Silence is the blade that cuts deepest. Walking away without explanation is the punishment that shatters their core. This is not a message for victims. This is a battle plan. A guide to dismantling their influence with calculated precision and unwavering detachment. This is how you reclaim your freedom. To defeat such a force, first understand what they truly are: not victims of circumstance, but tactical adversaries wired for control and dominance. Their strength is a fade. What you see is a performance, a mask designed to seduce and ensnare. They borrow traits, imitate virtues, and reflect your desires, crafting an illusion so convincing that it feels like love. But love is not conquest. This is a game of power, and once they ensnare you, the mask begins to slip. Confusion follows. Contradictions emerge. One moment you are exalted, the next, you are vilified. This is intentional, the fog of manipulation. It destabilizes your reality, rewrites your story, and makes them your only source of validation. Their power lies in perception: how you view them, how others see them, and how you see yourself through their distorted mirror. This is the chain that binds you. Question it, and they unravel in panic, rage, and defamation. Exposure is their death. But here's what they cannot anticipate: your awakening. Learning their language, understanding their tactics, and most importantly, refusing to react emotionally. Detach, observe, document, become immune. They fear irrelevance more than hatred. They dread being ordinary and unseen. You cannot dismantle what you still crave. Only when the illusion loses its magic do you gain the upper hand. Now begins the work of stripping away their power, layer by layer. Do not confront them directly. Do not argue or plead. These only feed their need for drama and attention. Instead, cultivate silence, a silence so profound it becomes a weapon. Be unreadable, detached, indifferent. Let them taste the alien chill of your absence. This silence is a void that consumes their energy and leaves them grasping at shadows. They do not change. They adapt and seek new prey. But while they scramble, you evolve. You become a strategist who understands the battlefield not through emotion, but through clarity and control. Remember this: their power is not unique. It is common, repetitive, predictable. Once you see their patterns, the illusion breaks, and so does their reign. This is not vengeance. It is disarmament. You do not fight the puppet, you cut the strings. The moment you stop feeding their need for attention, their power evaporates. You become a black hole of indifference, swallowing their manipulations without reaction. This is the trap they will not see coming. Begin with a strategy known simply as no contact. Not a dramatic farewell or an angry confrontation, just absolute silence. Stop responding to calls, texts, pleas, and provocations. Stop investing your emotions. As you withdraw, they descend into chaos. They claw for a foothold but find nothing. Your absence disrupts their world and panic sets in. They will try to break your resolve. Sweet words, empty promises, nostalgic bait, all designed to reel you back. Do not fall for the act. Recognize these as the last desperate moves of a losing game. Every attempt to provoke an emotional response is met with a blank wall. You are no longer their puppet. Do not explain yourself. Do not justify your silence. Closure is a gift you do not owe. Narcissists thrive on confusion, so give them clarity only in your absence. Become a ghost, a memory fading into the distance. They will rage, smearing your name and questioning your character. But none of it can touch you now because you no longer live in their story. As they crumble, isolate them further. Remove their allies, expose their contradictions, and let the mask fall before all. Do not engage. Let others see the cracks for themselves. Stop defending, start withdrawing. This is the beginning of their downfall. Financial ties severed, social connections broken, control reclaimed. They will panic. Rage will turn to desperation. But they cannot regain what you have taken back. In this silence, you reclaim your power. And when the darkness threatens to return, remember, you do not fix them. You do not rescue. You let them fade into the shadows of their own making. Your peace is paramount. Your focus sharper. Your boundaries stronger. You do not tolerate illusions or weakness cloaked in charm. You do not play their game. You are not cold because you are broken. You are cold because you are healed. This coldness is not cruelty. It is clarity. It is protection. It is the shield you have earned. Because once you have dismantled their empire of control, once you have walked away from their smoke and mirrors, you owe them nothing. No sympathy. No softness. Only distance. And in that distance, you find freedom. Music fades out. They enter your world with an effortless charisma, a force that seems almost magnetic, impossible to resist. They captivate you not because they are truly strong or wise, but because they understand how to manipulate perception. Their charm is a weapon, a mask carefully crafted to hide the void beneath. This mask is their survival mechanism. It is not a reflection of who they are, but a performance they deliver with expert precision. What appears as confidence is often desperation. What seems like grace is calculated strategy. In many ways, they are like actors on a stage, performing roles borrowed from others' traits admired, qualities envied. They do not possess these virtues themselves. They mimic them to disarm and control. They mirror your desires, echo your values, and reflect your dreams back to you, creating an illusion so potent that you believe in its reality. This mirroring is not a gesture of empathy, but a trap, a snare, designed to draw you closer until you are ensnared. The initial phase feels intoxicating. You feel seen, understood, even adored. But this is the prelude to a deeper game, because the mask they wear is fragile, and maintaining it requires constant reinforcement from your attention and admiration. Your energy becomes their lifeblood, your reactions the fuel for their survival. The moment you begin to doubt, to question, or to withdraw, the mask cracks. What follows is chaos, confusion, contradiction, manipulation. They will confuse you intentionally. One day, you are their world. The next, a threat to be eliminated. This volatility is designed to destabilize your sense of reality and self-worth. It rewrites the narrative so that you depend on them for clarity, for validation, for truth. Their power is woven through perception, how you view them, how they present themselves to others, and how you come to see yourself in relation to them. This web of influence is the leash that binds you. To break free, you must first recognize the nature of this leash. It is not forged from love or genuine connection, but from control and dependency. It is a chain that tightens with every reaction you give. When you stop feeding it, the chain weakens. This is why silence is not submission, but strength. When you withdraw your emotional energy, When you refuse to play the game on their terms, you begin to dismantle the illusion. Silence becomes your shield and your sword. It is the quiet rebellion that unsettles them most. But embracing silence is not simple. It requires detachment, a discipline of the mind and spirit. It requires understanding that their provocations are not about you, but about their need to maintain control. Your silence robs them of their prize and forces them into a void they cannot endure. In this void, they become frantic. Their strategies escalate. They will attempt to lure you back with false apologies, promises, nostalgic memories crafted to ensnare your empathy. These are not genuine acts of remorse, but manipulative tactics designed to regain power. Recognize these for what they are: bait. You must stand firm. Respond not with anger or argument, but with unyielding calm. Do not feed their chaos with your reaction. Instead, embody the gray rock flat, uninteresting, unreadable. This emotional flatness frustrates and disarms them, turning their tactics back on themselves. As you maintain this stance, you begin to rewrite the narrative. You are no longer the prey but the strategist, the hunter who understands the terrain and the game. You move with precision, with purpose. But reclaiming your power goes beyond silence and detachment. It means isolating the narcissist from their sources of support. Their strength is an illusion bolstered by enablers, admirers, and those who buy into their performance. To dismantle this illusion, you must sever these connections emotionally, socially, and practically. You do this not with drama, but with quiet resolve. You stop defending yourself to others. You allow the cracks to show. You create distance between yourself and the ecosystem that feeds their influence. This forces others to see the truth, not through your words, which they might dismiss, but through the narcissist's own unraveling. This process is painful and slow. It requires patience and resilience. It demands that you resist the urge to explain, to justify, to plead for understanding, because every engagement is an opportunity for manipulation. Every defense is validation. Instead, cultivate boundaries. Boundaries that protect your mind, your emotions, your space. Boundaries that are unwavering and clear. When they push, you do not bend. When they provoke, you do not respond. These boundaries are acts of self-respect and self-preservation. They signal that you will no longer tolerate chaos disguised as charm or weakness disguised as vulnerability. You recognize the patterns and refuse to be ensnared again. Part of this reclamation is reclaiming control over the practical aspects of your life: finances, shared responsibilities, digital presence. You sever access points they use to monitor or manipulate you. You take back ownership of your narrative, your resources, your future. This practical empowerment fuels your emotional freedom. It is a statement that you are no longer under their control, that your life is yours to lead on your own terms. As you build this new foundation, expect resistance. Expect them to escalate their efforts, lies, smear campaigns, accusations. They will try to isolate you further by turning others against you. This is a tactic born of desperation, not strength. Do not be disheartened by this. Understand that their rage and manipulation reveal their true nature. Let their false narratives fall away as you continue to build your reality on truth and integrity. Not everyone will believe you. Some will choose loyalty to the illusion. Let them go. Your journey is not about convincing the world, but about reclaiming your peace and sovereignty. In this process, self-reflection is crucial. You must unlearn the scripts they implanted: the self-doubt, the need for approval, the confusion between manipulation and affection. These mental patterns must be rewired with clarity, self-love, and strength. Healing is not linear. It is a process of gradual awakening, of rebuilding trust in yourself, and of cultivating resilience. It is the slow reclaiming of your identity, untainted by their influence. You emerge from this process transformed, not broken but strengthened. Coldness is not a sign of damage but of healing. It is a necessary armor, a manifestation of clarity and protection. This coldness allows you to move through the world with clarity, no longer ensnared by illusions or need for validation. It is a freedom hard-won but deeply empowering. As you continue to grow, remember this truth: control is never truly theirs to hold. The game always belongs to the one who understands it best. By mastering your detachment, your boundaries, and your silence, you become the player with the greatest power. Their downfall is not a spectacle but a quiet unraveling. As you step away, they collapse into the shadows of their own making, stripped of influence and starved of attention. Your victory is not just escape, it is transformation. You rebuild a life based on your own values, your own strength, and your own peace. And if the past threatens to return through a message, a shadow of their presence, a claim of change, you do not falter. You do not engage. You do not reopen doors that were closed for good. Because true freedom lies in moving forward, not looking back. It lies in the commitment to protect your spirit from old patterns and new masks. You walk past the wreckage with purpose, never glancing back, your focus sharp and your boundaries unbreakable. In this clarity, you find the deepest peace, a peace born not of forgetting, but of overcoming, not of vengeance, but of liberation. Your silence becomes a legend, your absence a mystery. The narcissist fades into irrelevance, while you ascend into your fullest self. You are powerful. You are self-sufficient. You are untouchable. And in that power, you hold the final victory. Music swells and fades.